We are now standing on a remote, uninhabited island located at the far southern end of the Earth. The Antarctic continent is not far, so the climate here is cold, plants are scarce, and winds are blowing fiercely from all directions. You will find penguins, sea lions, and seabirds, but no trace of any human. However, what might surprise you is the presence of an entirely unexpected creature, a sheep. In fact, thousands of sheep, around 4,000 heads. But these are not like any other sheep we know. They are 3 to 4 times larger, and the reason is the thick wool that completely covers their bodies. The wool alone makes up half of the sheep's weight, if not more, hindering their movement and forcing them to eat and drink relying on touch. Their lives are extremely difficult, as if they are condemned to perish. But what these sheep are about to do is astonishing. They are on the verge of survival, not just that, but they will evolve into a unique breed the world has never seen before. The story begins on Campbell Island, discovered by an Australian captain in 1810 during a sealing voyage. Since the ship was owned by the Campbell family from Sydney, they named the island without much thought. Initially, the island was used for sealing. Then it became a base for whalers. In 1896, it was included in New Zealand's pastoral lease system, where anyone could rent government land for grazing, building, and farming. The first to exploit the island was Mr. Gordon from Gisborne, who sent 400 sheep along with some timber to build shelters. However, by 1900, he was financially unable to continue, so the island was bought by a captain named Tucker, who decided to expand sheep farming. Tucker brought 3 shipments of sheep, each containing around 1,000 heads, mostly of the merino breed, known for wool production. The island was an ideal place for grazing, as it had unique plants called megaherbs, with large leaves that absorbed the rare sunlight. Indeed, the flock thrived, reaching 8,000 heads by 1913. But gradually, plant resources began to deplete, numbers declined, and costs became exorbitant. By 1931, the flock was abandoned, reduced to 4,000 heads. Even the workers who cared for the sheep were left alone, spending 2 years without a way to return to civilization. When the government sent a ship to rescue them and took 2 full seasons' worth of wool, its value was less than the cost of the ship, so they left unpaid. What's astonishing is that the sheep were left there to face their fate alone, even though they were not suited for survival in the wild. These were domestic sheep that needed annual shearing to stay healthy. Otherwise, the wool would become a suffocating burden, as happened with the ram Barak found in Australia in 2021. After years of wandering, his wool so heavy he could barely walk or see. With humans gone from Campbell Island, the weakest and least adaptable sheep died quickly. Over time, only the strongest sheep with suitable survival traits reproduced. Essentially, rapid natural evolution producing a new, hardier breed. The constant strong winds slowed plant growth, but helped reduce insects, so there were no flies to bother the sheep. The island was almost predator-free, except for the skua bird, known for attacking weak animals, though no confirmed attacks were recorded. In 1913, the flock peaked, then numbers sharply declined by 1931. But what happened next amazed everyone. Sheep numbers began rising again without human intervention. It seemed the remaining sheep carried genes allowing them to adapt and survive. As vegetation recovered, there was enough food. For 40 years, these sheep lived freely, gradually evolving until they differed in shape and behavior from their ancestors. When humans returned to the island in 1975, they were stunned by this new breed. Longer legs, raised heads, deformed jaws from eating tough plants, and strange behaviors like standing during birth and lambs walking within minutes. Even their wool became different, less dense and more weather-resistant. Grass had to be tied in bundles for them to eat, as they no longer knew how to feed from troughs. Yet despite this natural achievement, the sheep could not survive forever. In 1954, the government declared the island a nature reserve and ordered the sheep's removal. By 1970, a fence was built, dividing the island. In the north, 1,200 heads were culled, while around 2,500 in the south were later eliminated. By the late 1980s, The last sheep on the island were killed to preserve the ecosystem. However, before that, a 1975 rescue mission successfully took 10 live sheep to breed in New Zealand. Since these sheep had become wild, dogs couldn't herd them, so 10 scientists used whistles. Despite resistance, they gathered 58 heads and selected the best 10. But when tied near the fence, squaws attacked again, forcing them to carry each sheep over a mile to the ship amid exhaustion and relentless winds. These sheep were preserved as a purebred flock for decades, but a new tragedy struck in 2017 when 5 were stolen and killed, including pregnant females. The total number dropped to just 30, and their owners lost rare, irreplaceable genes. The crime was believed to be for meat, even though it tasted bad and was unhealthy. Today, the remaining Campbell Island sheep are still bred in captivity, carrying unique genes. Had they been left in the wild, they might have evolved into a fully independent species, as happened before with the kangaroo on Kangaroo Island thousands of years ago, an island separated from Australia due to rising sea levels, becoming home to a unique kangaroo. Today, Kangaroo Island's kangaroo has a shorter, broader body, thick, dark fur, and has adapted to winter cold and the absence of predators. A British scientist wrote in 1925 that it was calmer and gentler than all other kangaroo species.